Come along with me to make a housewarming gift. Today we are going to crochet a lemon peel stitch dishcloth. We're going to be using 100% cotton yarn. This one is from Peaches and Cream collection. I'll link in the description box the type of yarn that I'm using and the color. I'm starting here just by doing a simple cast on. I don't know if I crochet the right way. I just know this is how I've always done it. And so I attach to my hook, and then we're going to follow just a simple chain stitch to make our foundation. I will link the pattern below to give credit to the original creator. This pattern is very simple. We're just going to chain 27 to make our base. At the end of our chain 27, we're going to single crochet into the second chain from our hook. And then we're just simply going to double crochet in the next. And we're going to repeat that alternating single crochet and double crochet across the end of the second row. You'll see me struggle here just a little bit with these stitches. I think that working with cotton can be a little tricky. I'm using a size G hook, and truly my foundation chain was so tight I had a really hard time getting that first row crocheted into the foundation chain. So just don't get discouraged. If you remember to make your stitches looser in your foundation chain, great. If you forget, just keep going. It's fine. You can always make small adjustments as you move along. We will find in this pattern that while the finished product is square, even if it's not absolutely perfect, it's okay. We're making a really nice housewarming gift for a family member. She's going to love the fact I made something homemade for her. She's not going to care if my bottom row is 1/8 of an inch shorter than my top row. And so we're just going to speed along here and show repeating that pattern, single crochet, double crochet across the length of the rows. Do you hear the pitter patter? That's my old dog. And if you hang tight and make it through this video, you may see the pups make an appearance. I'm very excited to share this first video with everyone. I truly enjoy crochet. It brings me so much joy to make something for someone else using just string and a hook. It feels very special to me, and it's very relaxing, or it can be. I find patterns like this especially relaxing because it's just repetitive and simple counting. Now it's time for a pup break. So those are my little puppy buddies. My old guy is going to be 16 this December, and the little poodle there, we picked her up just a couple weeks before COVID hit, so she's my little stage 5 clinger. We are back to crocheting here, and I am just simply finishing up this last row on the dishcloth. You can see it works up relatively quickly. I think all in all, I had about an hour and 15 minutes in this, and that was with me taking just a couple breaks to get up and move around and have some other things tended to in the kitchen. So really not a bad project. I was able to work up 2 of these with relative ease for the housewarming party that I went to later that evening. Another thing to note as well, actually didn't have enough yarn to complete 2 of these, and so I just did 2 different colors. There's a lot to be said about matchy poo-poo perfection when it comes to projects and crafts, but when it comes to crochet, just use what you have. Make the most of what you have on hand. Just keep in mind, it's about the usefulness of what you're gifting someone. Every time they use something like this, they're going to think about you and the time that you took to put this together for them. That's really what matters. And now we are ready to finish off. So you saw me debating a bit about whether or not I was going to add a border to this, and ultimately I decided I didn't quite have enough yarn to definitely do that. So what I've done here is just make a loop, and I have trimmed my yarn. I'm going to make another loop and feed the loose end through to secure a knot. This is just an extra step that I take with dishcloths because they do get a lot of rough use. Make sure that's good and secure. Now I'm going to take my yarn needle, and I have one that's very flexible because it is plastic, and it's relatively short. And so we're going to thread that through. And so you want to take your darning needles or your yarn needles, and you want to work through, not in between, but through your stitches. And I'm not sure how close I get here, if you can really see where I'm going, but I am working in and out of those stitches in a chaotic way so that there's very little risk to that yarn popping out. And over time, the more this gets washed and worn, those threads will work in together, and it'll become less and less likely to fray or come apart. And so you just want to pull that through, and then that little piece is sticking out. No big deal. We're just going to trim that off with our little thread scissors there. And that's it. That is the completed lemon peel dishcloth. Again, you can see that tight bottom foundation chain that I had. It's going to be fine. It'll stretch out. It'll be no big deal. She's going to wash her dishes with this, and it'll wash if it's square or wash if it's a little off, and it'll be totally fine. So I hope you enjoyed my first video. I truly hope to share more crochet projects in the future, especially practical gifts that are relatively easy and quick to work up. So I hope you'll join me here on Hooks and Hooey for our next project. Bye.